This is Batman. You're watching Kyle Reviewed.
Hey guys, so this is going to be my Joker review. So I went to go see it last Saturday, the first Saturday it came out. Today is Tuesday, the 8th of October, so I saw it the 5th of October, so about 3 days ago. I wasn't really going to do it because I went to go see it at a late showing and stuff, so I could see it with my brother who was ending work late, and by the time it was done, it was kind of late, and there had already been tons of reviews out there of the movie, so I figured why not? I figured there was no point in reviewing it, but then I got a comment here on my channel here in one of my videos asking to review it, so I'm going to review The Joker. So here we go. Like I said, it's a little bit different than usual. That's why it's not, usually I like to do it the same day within, as soon as I get home from watching it, just so it's a little fresh, so it might be a little bit, not as fresh as if I was going to see it. So this movie, I like the movie. It has a 9 out of 10 here on IMDb, and I don't give it a 9 out of 10. I'm probably going to give it like a 7 for me, 7.5, just because I like the movie. It's just, for me, I just found it a little, not long, but a little slow. And I knew it was slow going into it. I'd heard some pieces like that, watching some quick reviews early on, just kind of, knowing that the pacing is very slow, and obviously I expected this movie to be something like that, and it is really good. The performance by Jared Leto by Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. He's really good in this role. It is a slow burn of a movie. It just didn't capture me as much as I wanted it to, or as much as like something like Endgame. But obviously Endgame has history that this just has continuity and stuff, whereas this just doesn't. So I think that's quite interesting, and I really like to see as to where things kind of go with this, if they end up doing a sequel or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, this movie, like I said, the acting was really good. It was really interesting as to the way things kind of goes and stuff. Does he deserve an Oscar? I think, yeah, he very does. If he was competing against, Jared, Joaquin Phoenix versus Heath Ledger's Joker, I much prefer Heath Ledger's Joker over it. Now, I would say that, this might be one of my second favorite Jokers. It might be tied for my second favorite Joker between this and, maybe the Mark Hamill Joker, just because that's just, super classic and stuff. But this one is definitely a very interesting take on it. Obviously, it goes off it's its own story. They just use the DC names to kind of sell the movie and stuff. So that's really interesting for that, and that's really cool. And it's obviously an interesting reflection of today's society and stuff in this movie, and that's very apparent within the movie. So that's really interesting there. So I think this is quite interesting. If it's stuff is obviously is rated R. I think for my theater here in Canada, they were showing it as 14 and stuff, which I guess should be okay for some 14-year-olds. There's a lot of blood and things like that, but it's definitely and it definitely has some mature content in there, but there's no nudity or anything like that. So it is an interesting movie, and I definitely recommend it to any Batman fan or anything like that. But at this point, you probably have already seen it, any Batman fan out there. But if you're hemming and hawing about watching it, I think you would definitely watch it. Now, like I said, I think it was an interesting movie. It was a good movie. My brother loved it and stuff. But is it a perfect movie? No, I do not love it as near as Endgame or anything like that. But it's obviously not going for any of that audience whatsoever. It's definitely is a unique movie, and I love the way they did the story aspects of this, and I'd love to see more of this stuff. Would I go see it again in theaters? Probably not. I don't think I'd go back and see it in theaters unless someone else was really excited to go see it or something like that. But I don't think I would go out of my way to go see it in theaters. Endgame, so I saw it 5 or 6 times in theaters, right? So it's not something I'd really go back to see it in theaters. I'll probably wait till it's on Netflix or something like that and watch it then. And I think I probably do need to rewatch it just to kind of get the movie, type thing. And with Martin Scorsese coming out recently and saying something like, the Marvel movies are not real cinema type thing, I feel like this might fit in his definition. Or there's a lot of big directors, classic directors that come out and say, get asked about these Marvel movies, and they go, not real cinema, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like this might be an exception to that rule, where they might consider this. It'd be interesting to see as to how Scorsese would see this movie. Would he fit this movie as cinema, or did it just fall into him as another comic book movie? Now, it might, it's hugely connected to comic book movies with the big name Joker and, Batman and all that stuff. But, if he didn't know that, and he just watched the movie, would he consider this cinema or consider this, another comic book movie, I feel like it is a bit more cinema than it is going into, the term, at least how these, older classic directors, see these movies, as just kind of, just kind of not cinema, just kind of profit machines type thing, and not really, corporations more than just indie films, right? And so I think it's going to be quite interesting to see as to where things kind of go with the DC movies with this, to see how things continue on. Because I'd love to see, someone doing kind of like this, but with like The Question and more kind of smaller characters, who don't have a massive following or anything like that. I think The Question would be a perfect one to get like an indie style, lower budget, but kind of this sort of style out of this. I think the Question would be perfect for that. I think it'd be quite interesting playing with this, and I just love that sort of aspect. So this movie, I definitely recommend it. I think it's it is an interesting movie just because so many people are talking about it. Did I love it myself? Yes and no. I liked it. I liked it for sure. Would I watch it again? Maybe. I think I need to rewatch it again when it comes out, like I said, on Netflix or something like that. But I feel like it's a movie that, like, at this time of night, I just got home from work, I'm tired and stuff, I'm definitely not watching this movie, I'm going to watch this movie, at the beginning when I'm fully awake, fully alert to watch it, because even though I've watched it before, I definitely want to try and get a new aspect, a new style of it. And I think I might want to watch it again, like I said, on Netflix or something like that when it comes in home media, to be able to watch it with someone else who loved it and get their opinions onto why they loved it. And I think that would help me kind of, just to see it from a different perspective and kind of, see things that I'm not seeing. So I think, like I said, I definitely recommend this movie, just because it's such an interesting movie and everyone can get something different out of it, because it's just obviously very much open to interpretation. So I think that's just the way I interpret it, or maybe I misinterpret it, or maybe I'm not interpreting it the way everyone else is, as calling it the best movie of the year. Definitely not the best movie of the year. I'm still putting that on Endgame. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. If you saw Joker, did you like it? What do you give it out of 10? Like I said, 7. I'm leaning to more of like a 6. I'm going to say 6.5. Yeah, that's what I'm going to put it. Good movie. Just kind of, I don't know. I'm just more of that audience who's into the ones that make billions of dollars, the marketing machines and stuff. So this is going to be interesting to see, and I think this opens up an interesting door to more style movies like this. And I think DC has an interesting catalog of stuff, and I think it's going to be an interesting idea to doing this. I'd love to see maybe a Swamp Thing movie like this. Could be something quite interesting as long as it allows anyone to just pick up, just to start writing a script for any DC character, submit it to Warner Brothers, and they just go, sure, why not? Low budget, go ahead. So I think that'll be quite interesting to see as to where things go. So let me know what you think, guys, about the Joker movie in the comments below. What other movies would you like to see come out of the DC movies? Something like this, that it might just be one and done movies that don't really go anywhere, don't get sequels or anything like that, that are just kind of a one-time movie. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. What do you think about this movie? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Hi, this is Kevin Conroy, talking to you from the library of Wayne Manor. You may know me as Batman. I just want you to know that you're watching Kyle Reviewed. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.